I was working with a private equity leadership team, and when I identified one AI model and showed in a use case, my client said, Ryan, this would have cost us $50,000 in the past. But today, I'm going to break down every element of it. What I'm also going to go over three key elements. Number one, what AI models are the operating system for the new AI agent era? The AI model matrix, inclusive of 6 different models with real business use cases for sales and marketing. And number three, the AI model that saved my client $50,000 in 15 minutes in only 2 simple steps. And if you stay to the end, I'll show you exactly the process I used to generate that $50,000 savings and outcome in literally 2 steps. For those of you who don't know me, I've been working with companies ranging from 30 million to 5 billion in annual revenue on transforming leadership, sales, and marketing teams. I'm going to share to you one of the key insights that I had from one of my customer meetings, and at the same time, a reoccurring theme that I keep seeing coming up repeatedly, and I was hoping that would help you today. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and walk you through specifically the first example of what I was talking about. I'm going to break this down in really a couple simple steps. If you look at this chart or this graph, this was originally taken from a private training that OpenAI did. And as you can see here, over the period of 9 years from 2015 to 2024, there was all these evolutions in terms of models ranging from GPT-1 to GPT-4. However, in the first 11 months of 2024, you've had all these adjustments that took place. Now, the interesting thing about it is the quality has massively improved from that moment in the beginning of 2024 to November of 2024. Okay. Now, what you're going to see here is this is what happened shortly thereafter. From December 24 to January 2025, we had all these changes. So effectively, we went from having as much progress in 9 years as we did in 11 months, and now 11 months in 2 months, okay? Now, why this is super critical is because it relates to multiple areas about what I'm about to show you with the different models. This is confusing as hell for most people, and so I like to break it down in kind of these 2 silos, as you could see, of where the future of AI is going, specifically as it relates to AI and AI agents and knowledge work. All right, number 1, this was originally taken from Bloomberg, but this is OpenAI's path towards HEI, and what you're seeing here is level 1, that's the ChatGPT moment, if you will, that took place 2.5 years ago. Number 2 is the reasoning models that got released. Now, this happened basically in December of 2024. Level 3, deep research happened in February, early February, and that's level 3, which is the AI agents, and they're starting to expand on that. Now, OpenAI is even talking about AI agents that will range from $200 to $2,000 to $20,000 a month. Okay. Now, level 4 is what we're racing towards, and level 5 is think of AGI or artificial general intelligence. And how this relates to really stacking your skills in terms of what you're doing today are these core areas. And this is the way I look at it, is number 1 is foundational is prompting. A lot of people want to go straight to this agent level or agent organization level. And what I would tell you is a lot of times they're stepping over dollars to pick up pennies right now. The reason being, if you just understand how to really effectively use prompting at a deep level and the right model matrix, which I'm about to show you in a little bit, you could easily surpass the level of agents that take massive infrastructure, time, and training to set up just by stacking the models in the appropriate way. Now, at the same time, you could turn those into GPT workflows or assistant workflows. Think of those as basically custom GPTs. At the same time, the next level from that, where it's responsive, are more autonomous agents. And think of those are workflows of segments of different GPT workflows with solid prompting stacked on top of each other so that they could act basically with agency to get jobs done. Now, there's full autonomous agents which don't exactly need that setup, and there's some examples that's starting to happen, but they're for very, very narrow use cases. The next one are agent organizations. This is what Ilya Sutskever, one of the founders and great minds of AI, basically, and I say founders of OpenAI, essentially identified that by 2030, we'll have agent organizations that are 100 times as powerful as Apple that are run from these swarms of autonomous agents. However, one of the key elements of understanding prompting, or why that's important, and I use this example all the time, if you have really terrible prompting, it's the equivalent of basically spamming out a terrible email sequence to millions and millions of people, and the same thing will happen with autonomous agents and workflows. As of right now. Now that can change, okay? And start getting into the models and why this is important and really critical for you, okay? So I'm going to show you where these are basically in OpenAI and ChatGPT. And I'm breaking down these models by design. And the reason being is because, like I said, I've conducted tons of trainings and interactions. And one of the things that I've noticed are many people miss these. And I get confused on this, but I also understand at the same time because of that rapid adoption that you've seen. The number one window of accessing these different tools is right here. So you click on this model and basically you have 4.0 with scheduled tasks. I'm not going to really cover this a lot today. It's in beta. I've had very mixed results with it. 4.5 is the new model that's been released. Is their largest model and is really good at emotional intelligence. We can get into that in a little bit. 0.1, which is more PhD level reasoning. 0.3 mini high, same thing, PhD level reasoning or more advanced reasoning. 0.3 mini, which is a much faster model. Okay, so this is the stack. Now, there's one other one that I'm not including here that I'm going to wait till the end and go to because this is the one that created that $50,000 in output in 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to get to that one a little bit later and we're going to go deeper on that. Okay, but let me shift gears and switch back over to kind of the models and why, and then I'm going to talk about effectively the model matrix so that you understand and can start to stack this and use this and be one of those people who is a top 1% user in this case. Because like I said, literally I've seen so many organizations that don't know how to leverage this, okay? So here's simply how I break it down, and I'm gonna go from like macro to micro, and we're gonna get much deeper. But number one, and think of this as more like your Swiss Army knife, GPT 4.0. So there's a lot of things that you could do with this. I have the model matrix I'm going to break down, but I think visuals are really good because there's a lot of really thick content in matrix. So I want to go over this for you first. So think of that, got everything, basic tasks, general use, fast model, can create visuals, analyze files. It's kind of like your catch-all. So I would operate most of the time in that. Then if we go more to the PhD level reasoning models, this is like your Albert Einstein, right? So this is basically your PhD in your pocket, where you have the capability. And the way I look at these two with 0.1 and 0.3, I think 0.1 is probably the best model for strategic thinking. So if I'm an executive where I have a complex decision with quantitative data, I want to look at this. Okay, this is the model I'm going to use. If I want visualizations of that data, I will use 4.0. 0.1 and 0.3 cannot really create visualizations in terms of charts and graphs. So that's just a little hack right there. And like I said, 0.1 and 0.3 can sometimes be used interchangeably. For some reason, I find the best quality output from 0.1 when it comes to deep strategic thinking tasks. Okay, 0.3 is not far behind. Now, if we shift gears, the next one, and this is the model I was telling you about that had a really big impact, is deep research. Now, a lot of people don't really know about this or heard about it, but haven't used it. This is a model that takes a while. This was released February 2nd, 2025. Okay, now, the thing that I wanted to point out is basically Sam Altman tweeted this, and this is really eye-opening. His approximate vibe is this could do single digit percentage of all economically valuable tasks in the world. And I've shared this in some of my previous videos, but I wanted to emphasize this again because I've been really, really impressed with what's done as long as you know how to use this tool the right way. Okay. The cool thing about it is it just got released to general availability and it got rolled out. You looked at this to plus team, enterprise, and EDU users, but they only got 10 uses a month effectively. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this with you. I have Pro, so I can use 120, and I should say I have Team, but I'm going to walk you through that today to give you a jump start so you could crush it and basically not waste your 10 uses a month on something that doesn't work. Okay. On top of it too, as a little quick bonus for you, there's these three other areas. We got the mobile app, which is advanced voice. Some really good things you could do with walking and talking with these models, like you would a person. And then basically it'll transcribe your thoughts. You could repurpose that into content, strategic information. DALL-E 3, a lot of people forget about this. The design in DALL-E 3 has gotten exponentially better. And then last but not least is Sora. Sora is text to video and has some really rich visualizations. And once again, that's continuing to get improved as well. But I'm finding a lot of people there's so many models happening, so they're forgetting about some of these ancillary uses and models. But we're going to go over that for you today so you don't miss it. Okay, so let me shift back and I'm going to walk you through the matrix now. So this is deeper into part 2 that I mentioned, and then we are going to get into that 2-step process at the end with the bonus on how to execute effectively. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking like if you are interested when I go through this and you really want to see more, I might share this if there's enough people in the comments that want this AI model matrix. I've only really shared these details with clients before, but I'm thinking of starting to open it up because there's a lot of rich details. So I've simplified simplified this as well. There's a lot of other cells, and I'm going to expand it and you're going to see why. So like I said, you got the general purpose. O1 is more premium analysis. O1 mini is like fast, so it's much faster model, but it can do pretty quick logic heavy tasks. High effort mode, so this is like O1 effectively. It works a little bit faster, has some good quantitative tasks that it does as well. Like I said, those two could be really used interchangeably, comes into personal preference. 4.5 is really good at writing and emotional intelligence. So one of the things I wanted to point out, and I brought this in a previous video as well, but if you look at it from 4.0 and some of these other models, they're more logic-based models, okay? These three are more logic-based. This is very emotional intelligence orientated, so it's good with writing, but it's broadcasted and positioned by OpenAI as a 10x improvement, emotionally intelligence over 4.0. So the other thing is ChatGPT 5.0, which is not on here, is supposed to be released in the next few months. That's supposed to be another 10x leap from this. That's something that is both exciting and scary because it's become more and more human with a 100x improvement in how it emotionally interacts with people and understands the world within a few months. So keep your eye out for that coming up. And last but not least is deep research. Deep research is a research agent, which, like I said, has amazing capabilities. I'm going to show you a really interesting one I use it for my own business. So that's a quick summary. Now, the other thing that I did in this model matrix, and this is what I was telling you, I also added 5 use cases for sales for each model and what they're best for. Also did the same thing, 5 use cases for marketing. As you can see here, I have example use cases for business executives, and on top of it, what it's best at. And this is all in one simple matrix. So as you can see, I have the whole breakdown. If there's a lot of like interest in the comments, I'll think about putting this together and sharing it with everybody in the comments so you can start to have access to it. Let me shift gears one more time, and I'm going to break into the deep research part. Okay, this was the model that I was telling you about, part 3 that I mentioned. I'm going to show you at the end one of the really coolest things that you could do about this and how to leverage this at a high level. As you can see, I'm in my Teams account. So within this Teams account, I could click on deep research, but as you can see, you only get 10 searches a month. Now I've used 4 of them, so I only have 6 available until March 28th. But the cool thing about it is you don't need to click on it yet, right? I am not going to click on it live in this video because one of the things that I've noticed, it could take 15 or 20 minutes and you will all leave me by then. But the real quick 2-step hack to get that the same output as a $40,000, $50,000 report in 15 minutes is simply this. The first thing you do is you ask, I need to create a AI prompt for OpenAI deep research on generating a holistic YouTube strategy for a solopreneur who wants to develop an AI first content creation company. Very random, right? So what I'm going to do, and as you can see, like I make typos all the time. And I think you probably realized from my video, the cool thing that I love about AI is it's not like super precise like that. And I'm going to show you the output of what a deep research report looks like, the one that, like I said, I'm using for my company actively. And it's a little bit meta. But as you can see, this is the prompt it's creating for us. Okay. So it goes in digital marketing strategist, expert in YouTube growth. So what it's going to do is go through marketing, competitor analysis, content strategy, channel optimization, production, monetization, innovation, and future trends. Okay. So like if I wanted to use this, I would just basically copy this prompt, right? I would copy this prompt like this, click it, copy. And then what I would do is I would create a new thread. And in this thread, I would do this, but then click on deep research and hit execute. Now I'm not going to do that, like I said, because I'm going to show you the results of an outcome. So you don't have to wait, but that's the 2-step process you do. So 1, you create the prompt, 2, you execute it in deep research. And then the cool thing about it is you don't need to sit and watch it. It'll work in the background if you're working on something else or want to open up a new chat. Now, here's the beautiful thing in the result. In here, here's an example. As you can see, I put this and I'm like, I only have 100 uses a month. I didn't know it was 120 uses a month. So I should adjust that, right? I want to use this advanced agent capability to help me on my goal to grow my business exponentially. So in here, I was basically asking it to come up with 120 for me on how this research and identify how I could leverage the data, identify bullet points and how I could use it. And then I'm asking it to act as a co-CEO. So I built this organically. I didn't even create this because I wanted to use that prompt and go through it. And there's some additional details in there. And what you can see is it made this 100 use cases for it. And the cool thing about it is it goes through each category, right? Now, what I will tell you is once you put the prompt in for deep research, it's gonna ask for additional. Basically, it's got table of contents, market, industry. So it goes through like one of these things I said or I liked is like track new funding rounds of prime AI targets. That's good. Some of these, like it goes through market, competitive intelligence, custom discovery, pricing and packaging, marketing strategy, sales lead gen, product, operation, team, and talent. So it gave me 10 categories with 10 ideas each. And then what I did is I went through and basically highlighted the ones that I really liked, like map out direct competitors and their differentiators, compare competitor pricing structures, all hyper valuable, right? Customer discovery, refine executive buyer personas, uncover department specific AI pain points, another good one. And there's a bunch other in here with like pricing and packaging and other examples like ROI based pricing models, marketing strategy and execution. So basically a whole breakdown of the different examples. We're almost up on time as well. So I want to make sure that I'm sensitive to what you're working on, but I would say those are the key buckets and the outcomes. And so, like I said, the two-step process is super simple. One, ask O3 mini high to make a prompt. Step two, put it in deep research and use that. What you could do very simply, and this is what I recommend if you only have 10 uses, is one, use that 10 uses and ask it to identify the 10 uses for you, right? And two, then, or you could do 100 uses, right? And pick the top 10 like I did, and then actually apply those over the next month and then watch your business explode. And you can come up with ideas where, hey, it might be something that saves you $50,000 by creating a market research report that Gartner or another provider can create, right? But you could do it literally in 15 minutes in 2 steps now. So I hope you appreciated this video. Feel free to check it out below. I have topics and information like this, but drop in the comments if you want to see the exact AI model matrix or the prompts from this. There's enough interest. I will definitely share these with you. It was great seeing you, and I will see you all on the next video.